What's up guys, Paladin Cross Rider here, and today I've got a deck profile on my Drajeweled deck. Ran a poll over on Twitter to see what people wanted to see first in terms of deck profiles, and this was the deck that won, so I'm going to show that off today. And if you go over to my Twitter and you want to have a say on what deck profiles I show off first, make sure to follow me over on Twitter. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's get started. So, run the grade 0 starter, doesn't matter what name, so I run Julius Draco Kid just because it fits the theme of the deck and came in the trial deck. One Jewel Core Dragon, kind of hard to get these, but make sure you get one if you do run this deck, because other ride lines don't work as well. So, one Jewel Neil, this guy's good on hit pressure, turn 2, and lets you draw a free card when you ride your grade 3, so. And then one Drajeweled in the ride deck. This guy just has a way better effect out of the set than he did in the trial deck. I prefer running this instead of the trial deck in the ride deck. While Persona Ride is important to the win condition of this deck, I feel like having the effect Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 2, and then if there are different grades, draw a card comes up more than it is being able to Persona Ride often. So that's the ride deck. For the main deck, run 3 Drajeweled. You do want to be able to Persona Ride as much as possible in this deck. The moment you hit your second grade 3 turn, you can drop one of these down. You're in a much better position to win the game, so running 3 of those. 4 Miroslava. This card, normally it's to fetch back your Persona Ride, but on occasion, you do fetch out other pieces in the deck that you just need to have on board in order to pay the cost for your Vanguard later on. So run 4 of her just so you see her, and yeah. Then I run 2 Zelmort. I don't see a lot of people running this guy, and I understand, like, he's not a big flashy card. Most people will run Risto Geyer here, and I was doing this originally. Problem I was having with this deck was by the time I hit my grade 3 turn, if I didn't have a way to kind of cheese around a grade 3 into Soul, I wasn't going to get my Drajeweld's effect off. So I put this guy in as a 2 of because it's the only grade that you'll be missing in Soul. And once you play him down on Rearguard Circle, you can pay his cost, move him into Soul, and do the rest of it. Look at top 2, call 1, put 1 to Soul. And at that point, you'll have grade 3, 2, 1, and 0 in Soul to pay for the first Drajeweled effect and get you started on your win condition. So 2 of that, really looking to up that to 3 possibly. 4 Rockagore, this guy's the win condition of the deck in all honesty. Once your opponent's at 4 or 5 damage, you play this guy down. He's a 20k attacker if you use him correctly and have the cards in Soul. And yeah, you just multi-attack with this guy for 20,000 power. And there's some things you do later on where you can make him have more power for the turn. And yeah, I'll show that once I get there, but 4 of him. Then 4 Madolvara. He takes a counterblast when placed on rearguard, but you get to put a card from Soul from drop into Soul. And once you do that, if you have 4 different grades, he goes up by 10,000 power, making him a 20,000 as well. So yeah, he's really good and helps just fetch back whatever pieces you Soul Blast from the first Drajeweled. Gets them back in Soul so you can pay the cost again. Then I have 1 open slot. I put Ultrasound Siri in here, but I think I'm going to cut this for another one of the grade 3 that moves to Soul because I do see the need to have that card more often than I do an open slot for a grade 2. So then for grade 1s, we got 4 of the best card in the deck. Falcate's Performer, freest card in all of Dark States in my opinion. No Counterblast, no Soul Blast. It's just on boost. Choose a card in your drop. If you don't have a card with the same grade in your Soul, move that card to your Soul. So normally I put one of these behind the Vanguard because I'll attack, Soul Blast 4, and then use this guy's skill afterwards. Because I Soul Blast 4, I'm more likely not to have the grades in Soul at that point. So, 4 of that. Then next I got 4 Fergus. See a lot of people playing the grade 2, the double rare that's Counterblast and Soul Blast. I believe it's look at top 2 and you add 1 to hand for 1 to soul. I don't like that. I think this guy's a lot better for just setting up Drajeweled rather than trying to get some pluses with Drajeweled. And yeah, he just does a lot of correcting for the soul. And yeah, just 4 of him to make sure I'm able to proc Drajeweled multiple times. Then I run 3 regular perfect guards and 1 of the Blitz Order one. Yeah, if you're able to get that trial deck, you need it for the ride line, but also you really do need this promo. There are just some grade 4 matchups you're going to have a hard time playing against, and that really helps even the odds just slightly. 1 of the Fancy World Original Over Trigger, because when I use Drajeweled effect to soul charge 2 cards, I like seeing something fancier go to soul every single time, so 1 of that. 4 of the critical vanillas, and then 4 of the move to soul crits. This is the card where I tend to play this down behind Rocket Gore if I can afford giving up the shield, because the first attack you swing, it'll be 24,000. Your opponent will need 15k to guard normally if they're on grade 3, and then you move it to soul and give Rocket Gore the 2,000 power. That way when Drajeweled reduces the power of the Vanguard and Rocket Gore swings again, it'll swing for 22,000, which against a 1 power Vanguard is a magic number, so your opponent's going to need another card in order to guard that, so 4 of that. Then I run 3 draw triggers. Some people like running front triggers, I fully understand that. This is just whatever you want to run in this slot for the other trigger. Go ahead and do that. I don't think there's a wrong answer. Some people might fight me on that, but I run 3 draw triggers. And then finally, for the last 4 cards of the deck, 4 heal triggers. So run whatever you want in this spot. If you need more effect triggers because your tournament is running 3 standing rear guards or units that get additional crits with effects, you can run whatever you need in this slot. I just prefer this lineup right now because it works for me. So that's going to be it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, deck overall, I give it a 10 out of 10 for fun. Tournament-wise, if you're looking to bring this to locals, it's great. Anything higher than that, I wouldn't recommend it right now. Still needs a few more pieces, needs to work on the fact that it eats through a counterblast pretty easily. But yeah, we'll see what it gets in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.